Hey, what's going on?
Doesn't look as cool on camera.
It does. It actually looks pretty cool.
Look at, I made scales.
Scales.
I was having fun. So I should have just done on one lip. But I have scaly lips. Ah!
We have people in here tonight. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I guess people were expecting us back.
Hello.
Otherwise, this actually was his idea to do this show tonight because the other night I was like, I don't know what we're doing. And he's like, I'll send it to you. And it
Yes,
was
this is actually one I've been wanting to do for a long time. So
Dorothea Puente.
I'm pretty excited.
Yep.
Jennifer, hello.
Hey, Jennifer.
Scott, non sequitur.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's Scott Davis? Is he new? I think he's new.
I think I've seen him in here before.
Possibly.
But yes, I led with a non sequitur.
Yes.
Because look.
What's going on?
I said because look.
Oh, who's?
I'm gonna guess Nicole.
Nicole. It's got to be Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Yep.
I'm right. It's Nicole.
Yay.
Yay. All right. So let me pull up some of our notes here.
You know,
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer Thompson. I only know of Dorothea Puente from Netflix and stuff like that.
Ooh, we have another. Oh, it's, I believe, still Nicole.
Yes. I don't know why StreamYard does that sometimes. It's weird. I think you still have to give permission on some level. Or if your Facebook's locked down a certain way or something.
Hello.
But we still see who you are.
Well, I could still tell usually by how they talk. Just like I knew pumpkins and hearts is definitely Nicole.
Right.
So let's jump into this.
This, like I said, okay, so we got notes from Murderpedia too. Because these notes weren't as detailed, but Murderpedia has detailed notes on her.
Okay, well, where's the Murderpedia notes?
Top.
Oh, yeah. You know, Murderpedia and the other pedias are.
And I actually have it. Yeah. Can you make the screen into a different. That was my bad.
I got this. Calm down. I got this. I know what I'm doing.
Now, okay, I forgot to say this before the show because we actually do. When you look down lower, you actually have other writers and stuff like that on here too. So we're gonna have to give credit and stuff like that. But this is pretty detailed here for what she did, and she was a killer granny. Not like a killer hot granny. Like she murdered some people to get their money.
Okay, so like let's like get into this
and
stuff. Okay. Let's start with under the fair use.
Stop.
Dear God, I'm gonna throw something. What? No.
Do it. Read it this way. Under the fair use, another author may make limited use of the original author's work without asking permission, pursuant to 17 U.S. Code 107, certain uses of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticisms, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies of classroom use, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright.
I had to. It's so cool that way.
All right.
I'm the sound guy.
There are going to be trigger warnings.
Trigger warning. Explicit content.
What?
What, you're not going to read it like that?
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah.
Warning, the related content. Okay, I fucked up. The related content may be disturbing to some individuals.
All right, viewer discretion is advised.
We got a new soundboard. This is awesome.
Yeah, sometimes my face is not going to show that it's awesome, but it is pretty awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, all right, let's jump into this. Wow. We have Facebook on in the background, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's right there up in the upper right hand corner. I don't know if I think we might want to take it. Yeah, let's take it down real fast. I left it up there.
All right. So, hello guys. Welcome. The voice sync is
way
really
off.
off.
Yeah, it's probably Facebook and stuff like that. It's or the internet and everything like that. It'll sync back up. Or
Hey, Iris.
hey, Iris.
Did you just put a curse on me?
Huh?
Are you gonna read?
Stoltier
Stultier asinus?
a sinus.
Asinus.
I'm pretty sure he said "but" in some other language, but
No, I'm pretty sure he just said Klatu.
Vrata Nikto.
I'm joking. Thank you for joining us.
I add
At-
infernum.
E ad infernum.
E ad infernum. There's definitely some satanic stuff right there.
Totally okay with it. Doesn't bother
Or
me.
it's just someone saying hi in Latin. I mean, if you're speaking hell
all
speak.
right, let's get into this. Hey, Dizzy.
Dizzy,
how
what's
are
going on,
you?
man?
Great to see you. All right, so let's get into this.
Yes.
Whew. Dorothea Puente. Did we put any pictures up?
No, I did not. I have them right there. Yes.
I was so prepped tonight.
We were completely ready.
So let me show you this.
That's Dorothea.
Look
That's
at
the
this
killer granny.
sweet little. Aside from the fact that her eyes look like she's shooting daggers straight through your brain.
But she's trying to see what money she can get out of you is what it is. That's what she did.
Oh yeah.
And it was mostly like drifters and stuff like that, I think. People with mentally disabled and people who needed a home, like homeless people and stuff like homeless.
So
Well done.
characteristics is something very common for female serial killers. She would poison them. That's very common for women. Puente ran a boarding house and cashed the social security checks of her elderly and mentally disabled boarders. Those who complained, who complained were killed. Okay, that's just phrased improperly. Look, guys. She used to cash the checks after murdering and burying these people in her backyard.
Which is a very common thing among female serial killers because they don't murder for sexual pleasure or anything like that like men do. They do that for usually financial gain or for revenge.
Yeah, women don't usually have a sexual component to their serial killer. Thank you. It's great to see you, honestly.
Yay.
Yeah, right? There's actually a show going around about her right now.
It's on Netflix.
It's called World's Worst Roommate.
She's
the first episode.
Is it the first episode? Or
Yeah.
She's the entire episode, I think.
First episode. There's multiple episodes of it.
No, I mean, and she's the entire episode, is what I said.
What I said too.
Okay.
Hey, Star. How are you? We'll get into that. Yeah, if I'm not getting out, if I'm not getting something out of it, you may live.
Pretty much.
Hey, Constance, how are you?
Hey, Constance.
Oh, so Lady Victoria Gray is also going to be on my show on Wednesdays.
That's a good name, Victoria Gray.
She's amazing. Look.
Doesn't that like remind you of the one meme, like if you're gonna be if you can't handle me at my weirdest or something like that, where like it had the chick with the hawk and she's lighting a pipe and all that stuff with the hawk on her arm. I don't know. It was a pretty cool meme.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. First episode.
Yeah, the only problem with that series is they only did the one season right now. They need to come out with another season.
Well, yeah.
They
haven't had time yet.
Oh, yeah. I keep thinking it's like a year or two old, but it's actually just came out.
All right. So, number of victims 9 or more, it seems. They're not 100% sure. So the date of her murders were between 1982 and 1988. She was born January 9th, 1929. Excuse me. And her victims list was, that we know of at least, Ruth Monroe, 61, Everson Gilmuth, 77, Alvaro, known as Bert Montoya, 51, Dorothy Miller, 64, Benjamin Fink, 55, Betty Palmer, 78, Leona Carpenter, 78, James Gallup, 62, Vera Faye Martin, 64. Method of murder, again, poisoning, and it was poisoning through drug overdose.
Yeah. The Alvaro dude, that's the sad one on there on the show they focused on.
That's the one that the family would call and be like, "Hey, what's he up to?" And she'd be like, "Oh, he went to Mexico."
He took off to Mexico for a week or two, and like they're like, he has a mental illness. He can't be by himself.
Yeah.
And when he first,
like, no, he was fine.
When he first moved in there, he was saying how good it was to live there and how awesome. And then turned out later on, he's like, I'm not doing great here. And then I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. So again, her
Mikey,
status
hello.
is life in prison without parole on December 11th, 1993, and she died in prison on March 27th, 2011. Let's get into the comments here. Hey, Calvin, what's up? How are you doing?
Calvin, what's going on?
Hello, Mikey. How are you?
Mikey.
Thanks. She's ready to come out and play.
It's going to be cool. What day are you doing that interview on?
I'm
sorry. You
do that to me quite often, and I have no clue.
So you have so many of them booked up. So many people booked up. I'm like, when?
Let's find out right now. I'm on rootsbleedred.com. Her interview is October 8th. That sounds right. Right. That sounds right.
It's roughly a month and a half away.
Maybe that's the 5th.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's an 8th.
I know, but I sometimes, But yeah, we have right now my next, if we're going to go through that real fast, next week on Wednesday is Azazel Winchester. On the 24th, we have Artsy and Munchie. On the 31st, we have the winner of the SAS, Simbu Darkfang.
Simbu was cool. He just reached out to you and reached out to us. Was like, this is pretty neat to have Simbu on here.
I sort of reached out and said congrats.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So, then we have September 7th, Demon Willie. September 14th is Spook. September 21st is Zach Sanity. September 28th is Ravage Clern. And October 8th is Lady Victoria Gray. Just to let you guys know, we still have interview availability. So, Hunt Actors, hit me up. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We will be doing these awesome interviews, and we will continue to do these.
We know the Haunt Week starts on a Thursday, so I'm kidding.
We figured that Wednesdays, a lot of haunts aren't running. So this gives the opportunity to rep yourself.
Susan! What is going on?
Oh, no. Sorry I'm late. I was jamming to Selena. Bet the social worker felt like an ass sending people over there to die.
I think she did.
Susan! Oh, you're at work. I'm sorry.
I read that as pooping in to say hello.
I'm pooping in to say hello.
Pooping on company time.
Lico! Hello, beautiful.
Hi, Lico.
Who do we have? Okay, that's everyone saying hi to everybody. Let's get back into this.
Murder.
Murder. So Dorothea Puente was born in San Bernardino County. I'm pretty sure we are getting cursed.
I think we're getting cursed by Scott Davis.
Scott, it's okay. I'm joking.
I knew a gentleman with the last name of Davis once, and I think I got cursed. by that gentleman.
And this might be him.
It could be. There's a Scott. Who is the comic book character you have for your profile pic? It's kind of neat. Does it say demon?
It looks like Etrigan and who's his human?
Oh, I forgot who his human is.
It looks like it's the human. What is his name? It looks like Etrigan.
Jane. Oh, he's I was about to say Sir Camelot.
Oh, it's from the same time.
No, he's part of Camelot. Well, in the New
Wasn't
52,
Lancelot or anything like that, but it was like
he was part of the Round Table.
He was part of the Round Table. But yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing things about this woman. So insane. Absolutely. Yep. I always poop on company time. Hi, Scott. All right, let's get back into this. Whew. So she was an American serial killer. Is that where I was? I was at the wrong spot.
You brought up their Murderpedia.
Ta-da! There we go. She was born to two alcoholics. Her father was a cotton picker. Both parents abused her. She often had to scavenge for food. She was even worse off than like a latchkey kid. You know? It wasn't just like, hey, sorry, we're working. It was, hey, we're going to spend all of our money on booze and fuck you. You're not going to get to eat. Her father died when she was around 4 years old. When she was 6, her mother died. She was sent to an orphanage until relatives from Fresno took her in.
It's always people from Fresno.
Let's not talk about Fresno.
Fresno. And damn them and their skyscrapers 2 hours north of us.
Yeah. So in later life, she lied about her childhood, saying that she was one of the 18 children who was born and raised in Mexico. In 1946, she married for the first time, but her husband died of a heart attack within 2 years. The Demon by Jack Kirby. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
It kind of, to me, that side looked like Etrigan. Do you see that?
Oh, that's rad. It does look like Etrigan on that side.
That side, not so much, though. I can't think of his damn name. But yeah. Jack Kirby, DC Creation. Okay. Yes. Yes. And yes, a very nice old lady that we were talking about, right? What's up, Shelby? How are
Shelby.
you doing?
How are you?
I keep bringing up these notes, but that's not the notes we need to bring up. So, her first husband died of a heart attack within 2 years of being married. Married.
Well, that's, I think, probably one of the ones where they're like, this could have been her, but it was never pinned on her.
I am right! It is Etrigan!
Etrigan. Gone. I forgot the whole rhyme. What is it?
Gone, the form of man, rise the demon Etrigan.
Maybe you can do it.
What?
Gone, the rise of man, rise the demon Etrigan.
I messed up, I know.
You really did. You really, really did.
Did I say gone, the eyes of man?
I have no clue what you said. It's gone, the form of man, rise the demon Etrigan. And I was right. See? By the way, you're a brat. You haven't messaged
I
her.
know, I'm sorry.
We've
I
been
get
really
busy.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
All right, let's squirrel back into motion. So for money, she tried to forge checks, but she eventually got caught and was sentenced to a year in jail. She was paroled after 6 months. Soon after her release, she was impregnated by a man that she barely knew and gave birth to a baby girl.
Sounds like,
which she had to give up for adoption.
the way they wrote that is, it sounds like they actually was like an alien xenomorph. She was impregnated by him.
So in 1952, she married a Swedish man named Axel Johansson. Definitely a very Swedish name.
Axel
Johansson.
Only the Swedes would name someone after a car part. kidding. Where's Carl?
And they had a very violent 14-year marriage, unfortunately.
Damn, that 14-year. It always goes
It
the
goes
distance.
for a long time with
Well,
assholes.
Especially the time that that was a time where you didn't divorce and all that stuff, and you just sat there and you dealt with it.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
people should deal
Condone
with it.
that.
You should
I
never deal with that.
Lost connection for a second, guys. Sorry. It blinked out. So, in 1960, she was arrested in a brothel and sentenced to 19 days in the Sacramento County Jail. After her release, she was arrested again, and this time it was for vagrancy, and sentenced to another 90 days in jail. Following that, sorry.
Beware the eyes of March. Ides of March.
No. She said eyes.
Eyes.
Because you said gone the eyes of man.
I did. I knew I did. That's actually kind of cool. Gone the eyes of man. I know, but eyes of man.
Etrigan's always been one of my favorites.
Etrigan is awesome.
I just can't stop looking at it. It's so cool.
That's what she said last night.
It's so cool. Oh God, do the one. I don't think he could do the talking backwards part.
I can do the line from Adam Sandler's Bulldog. La la la. When he's all sleeping. That is creepy. Hi, Darius.
Hey, another awesome one that we're going to be interviewing on a Wednesday. Zach Sanity, guys. It's going to be awesome. This gentleman here does some great voice acting impressions, and I cannot wait to show them off live. All right, so let's go back into this. So again, we've covered that she was working at a brothel, got in trouble, sentenced to 90 days. Got in trouble for vagrancy, sentenced to another 90 days. Following that, she started to get involved in miscellaneous illegal activities that over time became more serious. These activities slowed down a great deal when she found work as a nurse's aide. Here you go. She found work as a nurse's aide, caring for disabled and elderly people in private homes.
That's also probably another place where she started honing her skills and stuff like that.
Well,
could be.
And in a short time from this, she started to manage boarding houses.
You're going to find out. She actually made a lot of money from it. A lot.
By the way, he calls him Zach Sanity, the Clown Prince of Torture. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It's
Definitely, it's going to be a lot of fun. Here we go. So she divorced Johansson in 1966 and married Roberto Puente in Mexico City, a man who was 19 years her junior.
Alejandro Roberto.
Don't call my name. Alejandro. I'm not your babe. Fernando.
What was the don't want
a kiss, don't want a touch,
just want one cigarette and hush. Yeah. It's such a good line, actually.
Don't call my name.
Yeah.
Roberto. We're getting muted for that part, I'm sure.
Probably. The trolls are going to start intellectual property. Meh, 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 meh.
Wait. So, I feel like I've missed so much. The granny worked at a brothel. Correct.
She worked at a brothel in the 40s, wasn't it? Or something like that?
No, in the 60s.
Jesus Christ. She was a cougar then because she was born in 1920. 20-something. If you're born in 1929 and you're working a brothel in the 60s,
30 something.
More like dirty something. I'll tell you that right now. I'm kidding.
I just realized there's green, so much green on my shirt. Sorry. Woo! Okay. Wait. Oh, gods of views.
Again.
So,
Of views.
Just in case you guys didn't notice it, we were talking about somebody who poisoned people.
Oh no.
Hold up.
We don't play. Another line I can't say because we'll get popped.
Squirrel! My name is Roberto de la Cruz Puente.
My name?
It's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
How many fingers do you have on your hand?
Well, see, my father, he was killed by a man with 6 fingers on one hand.
By the way. Oh my God, Hex!
Yay! I got a fan finally. Everyone always fangirls over Liz and Mother de la Mort and everyone else, and I finally got a
Who
fan.
the hell is Liz?
I'm sorry, a cow.
Yeah, by the way, I said that in a deep Mexican accent.
My name is
My name is
Roberto.
Roberto de la Cruz Puente. Why does this feel? I'm sorry. Why does this feel like a soap opera?
It actually very much is a soap opera. This is an episode.
No, him just saying. I feel like somebody needs to be there going. Maria.
Maria.
¿Por qué no, Maria? ¿Por qué?
I just almost had a Schwarzenegger accent right there. Maria, get to the chopper! Get down! Get down, get to the chopper, Maria!
Okay. I mean, he is married too.
Oh, he was. No, he was. Wasn't the love child's mother named Maria too?
Priapus approves of your show.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
Squirrel. You want to know something? A squirrel moment real fast. Schwarzenegger's love baby and his love child's mother, they were living here in Bakersfield. I know the exact house. They're not there anymore, but I was there.
Mad TV's where the idea came from. Yeah, no, I can think of it as Saturday Night Live. My name is Antonio Banderas. This is how
Too
you
sexy.
say this show. Oh, too sexy, too sexy. Ah. Okay, sorry. God damn it. That's going to end up in another commercial, isn't it?
It probably is. Mother de la Mort's going to be like, we really need to sell these commercials. Shake your tits right now.
Hey, kid, get off my front lawn.
That's my purse.
That's my purse. I don't know you. Kick. Excuse me, guys. Ow. This is like a 5-parter, guys.
There's not much here. We're just like scrolling out here.
Lots of squirrels. They're everywhere. They're taking over Venezuela.
Hey, little boy. Wait, little boy, come back here. We have. Oh, what did he say to Morty in that?
We'll give you candy.
We'll give you candy, little boy. Come back here. Tell Rado back. Tell we got a possible Doolittle here.
Okay. So again, she divorced Johansson in 1966, married Roberto Puente in Mexico City, a man who was 19 years her junior.
Jesus fucking
and
Christ.
Had trouble staying faithful to her. The marriage only lasted 2 years. Shortly before the end of the marriage, however, Dorothea Puente took over a 3-story, 16-bedroom care home at 2100 F Street in Sacramento, California.
There's always problems on F Street. I'll tell you that right now. F Street
problems.
Here in town in Bakersfield, there's always problems.
There, she provided care and comfort to the homeless and the destitute in the area. Something shiny? It's kindness. Yep. Exactly.
Squirrel.
So the first sign of something wrong was when the neighbors noticed odd activities of a homeless alcoholic man known as Chief. whom Puente stated she had adopted and made her handyman. Puente had Chief dig in the basement and cart soil and rubbish away in a wheelbarrow. The basement floor was then covered with a concrete slab. Chief later took down
She pulled a Gacy.
Chief later took down a garage in the backyard and installed a fresh concrete slab there too.
She pulled a Gacy. This is Gacy before Gacy.
Soon
Or
after,
Gacy at the time.
Soon after, Chief mysteriously disappeared himself.
Oh wow. Don't fuck with this woman.
Puente married for a third time in 1976 to a Pedro Montalvo, who was physically abusive and an alcoholic. The marriage only lasted a few months, and Puente started spending time in local bars looking for older men who were receiving benefits. She forged their signatures to steal their money, but she was eventually caught and charged with 34 counts of treasury fraud. While on probation, she continued to commit the same fraud. According to the California Court of Appeals, in 1981, Puente began renting an upstairs apartment at, 1426 F Street in downtown
moved down
Sacramento.
the road.
The 19 murders with which she was charged in 1990 and convicted in 93 of 3 of them were associated with this upstairs apartment and not her previous 16-room boarding house.
If you've seen
sheesh.
the actual, if you go and watch it on Netflix, the actual episode, which is the first episode, it's actually a really nice neighborhood, and it's a really, really nice house. And the house is actually, I think, is still there. I don't think they tore it down.
I think they might have torn it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. But downtown Sacramento is actually gorgeous. That's where you get all the Victorians and all that stuff.
That's where you get all the Victorians?
The Victorian houses. You get the Victorians.
That's where you get all the Victorians.
Just la 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 la. I can't think of any Christmas songs.
La, la, came out, but
I don't know. They always fa la 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 and stuff like that. That's what they do. They run around on every house.
La
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 la.
So we're gonna go to commercial, guys.
Now give us some figgy pudding.
Goddamn.
I want some figgy pudding. It's actually pretty good.
So stay tuned. It's a long commercial, but it's well worth watching. Okay, watch it. We'll be back.
Well, gentlemen, perhaps we wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't said to ourselves, just go, 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 go for it.
Final score for this film, we're going to give it 3 paws out of 4.
La Señora de la Santa Muerte, Spanish for Our Lady of the Holy Death.
Out now!
Oh, not sex and violence!
Hi everybody, I'm Akash,
And I'm pre-sexist Diamond.
and we are Roots Bleed Red on Psycho Bunny Death Cult.
Aha!
In fact, humans have a very long history of eating each other.
So lock your doors, turn out your lights, and join us for Ghoul Radio.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
So, I'm not sure which one of the ads I messed up and didn't play, but I will find out and play them on Sunday. And Stephen P. Kitty Cat, I'm sorry.
We messed up.
So, but you know what? It totally happens. No big deal. We will figure it out. It's not like we're professionals or anything.
No, I just have professional equipment, but I'm not professional in any way, shape, or
Oh, I
form.
claim to be.
I don't. I literally gave me stuff to make voice changing. I got stuff to change my voice and everything. I'm going to keep doing that. That's all I focus on.
I'm afraid I see my picture in one of these. I'm afraid, Susan. All right, so here we go. So now, again, remember, she's married again. Okay. And she has that boarding house. And in 1990, then she also lives in an apartment downtown, which wasn't too far from that boarding house. So in April of 1982, 61-year-old Ruth Monroe began living with Puente in the upstairs apartment at 1426 F Street, but soon died from an overdose of codeine and Tylenol. So Tylenol 3. She died from an overdose of Tylenol 3.
It's not hard to do. Tylenol 3 is pretty fucking.
At least she was probably comfortable
and very cozy, very comfy.
Not to
knock the victim here, but
Puente told the police that the woman was very depressed because her husband was terminally ill, and they believed her and judged the incident as suicide. Because, of course, I mean, who is not going to believe this?
Well, she had the look of the little old lady. Why would she do this? Why would this person right here?
Why would she be so mean?
She would never be so mean.
She never would.
The crazy thing is we all knew
Look
some
at that
little old
face.
lady like this who was mean as shit and probably would murder you in a second if she had a chance.
Well, this one did.
Yes, this one actually did.
So, only a few weeks later, the police were back at her, or after a 74-year-old pensioner named somebody who gets pension.
Oh, pension!
Pensioner named Malcolm McKenzie. Malcolm McKenzie had accused Puente of drugging him and robbing him. She was convicted of 3 charges of theft on August 18th of 1982 and sentenced to serve 5 years in jail. While in jail, she started to correspond with a 77-year-old retiree that lived in Oregon named Everson Gilma. Does the name sound familiar? Because I mentioned it earlier. A pen pal friendship developed. And when Puente was released in 85 after serving just 3 years of her sentence, he was waiting for her in his red 1980 Ford pickup truck. Their relationship developed quickly, and the couple was soon making wedding plans. They opened a joint bank account and paid $600 a month rent for the upstairs apartment at 1462 F Street in Sacramento.
You could say she had a pension for him. I'm sorry.
So in November of 1985, Puente hired Ishmael Flores to install some wood paneling in her apartment. For his labor and an additional $800, Puente gave him a red 1980 Ford pickup that was in good condition, which she stated belonged to her boyfriend in Los Angeles, who did not need it anymore.
1980 was the last. Well, I would say 84 was when Ford's engines became crappy.
Yeah. So catch that. Let's repeat that. Guy helped her out fixing up the apartment. and she was like, here's $800. Sorry, an additional $800. And you know what? You did such a great job. I'm going to give you a 1980 Ford pickup truck that my boyfriend, who just happens to be in LA, no longer needs.
You know why no one ever questioned any of this shit? Magic vagina. That's what it was. You know why Grandma had plastic on her furniture, right?
Grandma's a squirter.
Grandma's a squirter.
So, overwork! Yay!
Yay!
Calvin, you can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
That kind of goes along with the plastic on the grandma's furnitures.
Is that going to be more because you shit the furniture?
It could be whatever grandma was into. It clearly got them in there. Grandma was into kink. I'll tell you that right now.
All right. So Dorothea Puente then asked Flores to do one more thing: build a box 6 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet to store books and other items. And then asked Flores to transport the filled and nailed shut box to a storage depot. Flores agreed.
Kind of make it
and Puente,
like this and then down like this. You know, if you could, but roughly the average height of a man is like 5'9". Okay, let's do about 6. Let's do 6'2". Let's do 6'2". Okay, it's just strictly to store books.
Yeah. Right. So I lost my spot.
Sorry about that.
Flores agreed, and Puente joined him. On the way, however, she told him to stop while they were on Garden Highway in Sutter County and dump the box in the river in an unofficial household dumping site. Puzzled, Flores questioned why did Puente tell him that the contents of the box was just junk. Well, if it was just junk, of course they're just gonna bye, okay, bye.
Pretty much. I mean, it's. I wonder.
And she considered him junk. Really?
Anybody she kind of considered junk, and it was just there to be used.
Oh yeah. So on January 1st, 1986, a fisherman spotted the box sitting about 3 feet from the bank of the water and informed the police. Investigators found a badly decomposed and unidentifiable body of an elderly man inside. Puente, meanwhile, continued to collect Everson Gilmuth's pension and wrote letters to his family explaining that the reason he had not contacted them was because he was very ill. She also maintained a room and board business, taking in 40 new tenants, most of whom were alcoholics or drug addicts. Although she was making a good profit doing this, she wanted more and therefore started to cruise bars for new customers.
You know, we talk about in other episodes, like with the pig butcher up north,
Willie Picton.
Willie Picton and stuff like that. We talk about the less dead. She was doing the exact same thing. She was going after the less dead, but not the lesser dead and stuff like that, but not sex workers and stuff like that. She was going after like the alcoholics, the stuff like that. You know, people that no one was going to miss. Yeah, no one was going to miss and stuff like that. Especially in the 80s, that's when they released. They had the big release of all the people from the mental institutions and stuff like that. Like they're like, okay, we're not going to pay for you guys anymore, but we're also basically you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Is what happened. And a lot of people like this actually popped up in the 80s, just taking advantage of them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So every month, Puente collected all the tenants' mail before they saw it and gave them only a small amount of their money. Invariably, the tenants squandered what little money they had at the nearest bar and were picked up by police, jailed for 30 days following anonymous tips. Puente then pocketed the rest of the tenants' money.
The bunnies of chaos are coming for you. The bunnies of chaos are coming for you.
Good morning! Damn bunnies.
Those bunnies. They're funny bunnies.
The funny bunnies.
They're always taking over.
God. You guys, they're going to be taking over again soon. You know that, right?
They always do.
I mean, yeah, shit. All right, so yeah, so basically she would take some of their money, give them a little bit of their money. They would all go to the bar or go pick up or whatever. Sorry, okay.
You're fine.
I gotta move forward. So they would all go to the bar, pick up whatever hookup they needed to go pick up. She would report them anonymously. And the majority of them would end up getting picked up by the police and end up back in jail for about 30 days. And then, again, they'd be out. They'd come out. She'd collect their mail. She'd get their pension. So on November 11th, 1988, police found a body buried in the lawn of 60-year-old Dorothea Puente's place. 7 bodies were eventually found. Puente was charged with a total of 9 murders and convicted only of 3, and was given 2 life sentences. In 1998, Dorothea began corresponding with Shane Bugbee, who did an extensive interview with her over the course of several years. She began sending him various recipes. I'd be afraid they'd probably be long fork. I guess you didn't have to pick up the long fork.
I don't think she was the butchering type. I think she was the burying in my backyard type.
Well, yeah, as we've seen. But various recipes. And in the 2004, the book Cooking with a Serial Killer was released. It included a lengthy interview and almost 50 recipes and various pieces of prison art sent to Bugbee by the convicted murderer. Okay,
we got to find this book. I want to cook with a serial killer.
I was going to say, I wonder how many books sold of this.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? Okay,
We could bring back our cooking show.
Jeffrey
and cook more
Dahmer,
recipes.
Cooking with Dahmer.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, look, he probably would have very plain microwavable like recipes or whatever, but to have that cookbook would be pretty freaking cool.
Let's see how many. Okay. Let's check. Cooking with a serial killer.
Cooking with a twat.
Interesting. Look at this. Let me show you this book.
How much is it? It's only $9. We're ordering it.
Okay. Cooking with a.
I don't know if we can show it though.
I don't see why not.
The intellectual property.
That's called.
You're right. You're right. Fair use. This is fair use. We're just showing it for a second.
So, guys, if you haven't seen this is kind of cool.
It's available on Amazon right now for $10,
which we're gonna be buying.
Oh, you gotta delete a picture.
Okay, so let me show you some pictures of Dorothea.
We already did.
I didn't show all of them.
Oh.
Look at how would you accuse her of murder?
Very easily, because we all knew a very old or very mean old lady.
That one, she looks pretty evil.
That one, she's like, I'm already old. You're not going to put me to death. I'm going to go into prison and no one's going to mess with me.
She died in 2011.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
But this actually exists, and this is only $10 on Amazon. $9.98 is what it said.
So this is the book. Cooking with a Serial Killer, Recipes by Dorothea Puente by Shane Bugbee.
I'm probably going to go buy this.
We're probably going to go buy this.
I am.
And you know how we do cooking shows periodically? Guess we're going to be doing some cooking shows.
I'd imagine she's actually probably a decent cook.
Yeah, well, except for the codeine.
Yeah. We're going to be like looking through. We're going to skip the codeine part of this. Just leave everything else in, the spices. No codeine and Tylenol going into these recipes.
Oh, here we go. Arrest and imprisonment. So, we're going to go a little bit over just because I have a little fun thing here. Not fun, but really interesting. On November 11th, 1988, police inquire after the disappearance of the tenant Alvaro Montoya, a developmentally challenged schizophrenic whose social worker had reported him missing. After noticing
He's the sad
disturbed
one.
soil on the property, they uncovered the body of a tenant, Leona Carpenter, 78. 7 bodies were eventually found. This was actually 9 bodies that were eventually found. And Puente was charged with a total of 9 murders, convicted of 3 and sentenced to life sentences. During the initial investigation, Puente was not immediately a suspect and was allowed to leave the property. The reason, by the way, that they were like, "Oh, you're not a suspect," she's like, "I don't know where they came from." And one of the ones that they unburied was one of her husbands, where she's like,
How did he get here?
I just thought he went missing.
He said he was going to get cigarettes and never came back.
Yeah, pretty much. Ostensibly to buy she left the property ostensibly to buy a cup of coffee at a nearby hotel. Instead, after buying the coffee, she fled immediately to Los Angeles, where she befriended an elderly pensioner that she met at the bar. The pensioner, however, recognized her from the police reports on television and called the authorities.
He literally put up the cross on his fingers like you would the Dracula. Stay away. You are going to murder me. I know what you're doing here. You are not getting my pension. I know you.
Her trial was moved to Monterey County, California, on a change of venue motion filed by her attorney, Kevin Climo, and Peter Blount III.
That's a pretty decent move right there, actually, because Monterey is a very middle of the ground county here in California. It's a very gorgeous county. Sorry.
The trial began in October of 1992 and ended a year later. The prosecutor, John O'Mara, was the homicide supervisor in the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office. O'Mara called over 130 witnesses. He argued to the jury that she had used sleeping pills to put her tenants to sleep, then suffocated them, and hired convicts to dig holes in her yards. Climo concluded this closing argument by showing a picture of showing a picture that's commonly used in psychology that can be viewed in different ways, and says, "Keep in mind, things are not always what they seem." The jury deliberated over and it might have been a Rorschach. I don't know if that's what it was.
Oh, did you say Rorschach?
Rorschach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been a Rorschach where that he held up and was like, "See."
I just like the fact that she was trying to say, like, convicts put the bodies here is what she was basically trying to get at here.
Oh, she hired the convicts, though.
No, I know she hired the convicts, but it was convicts who that's probably where the bodies came from. They did it.
Snap.
Susan says that would be so cool for the cooking book. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
That would be freaking awesome. I'm
because convicts ask no questions.
Well, yes and no, but
don't talk no shit, there won't be no shit.
It's kind of hard to do.
Hey, Nadine! Nice.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's get back into this. So they close with a picture that's commonly used in psychology. I'm assuming a Rorschach. They don't really mention exactly what it is.
What do you see right here?
Yeah.
I see a nice pie.
They basically said, keep in mind, things are not always what they seem. The jury deliberated over a month and found her guilty of 3 murders. They could not agree on the others. The penalty phase of the prosecution was highlighted by her prior convictions introduced by O'Mara. The defense called several witnesses that showed Puente had a generous and caring side to her, and several other witnesses, including her long-lost daughter. They testified how Puente had helped them in their youth and guided them to successful careers. Mental health experts testified that Puente's abusive upbringing and how it motivated her to help the less fortunate. At the same time, they agreed that she had an evil side, brought on by the stress of caring for her downtrodden tenants. God, I can't talk anymore. O'Mara's closing argument focused on Puente's acts of murder. Does anyone become responsible for their conduct in this world? These people were human beings. They had the right to live. They did not have a lot of possessions, no houses, no cars, only their social security checks and their lives. And she took it all. Death is the only appropriate penalty for her.
Yeah, but she didn't get it. She just died in prison.
Kevin Climo responded by evoking Dorothea, the child and caregiver. Peter Blount addressed the jurors in confidential tones, contrasting with Omar's shouting. We are here today to determine one thing. What is the value of Dorothea Puente's life? That is the question. Does she have to be killed? Lawton spoke gently about Puente's childhood, touching on the traumatic aspects that shaped her life and urged the jurors to see the world through her eyes. You have heard the despair, which was the foundation of her life, the anger, and the resentment. If anyone in the jury room tells you that it was not that bad, ask them, would you want that to happen to yourself? Would you want that to happen to your children? I am led to believe if there is any humanity, to love, to touch each other with kindness, to know that you have made just one person breathe easier because you have lived. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that is why these people came to testify for Dorothea Puente. I think you can only truly understand why so many people testified and asked you to spare Dorothea's life only if you have ever fallen down and stumbled on the road of life and had someone pick you up, give you comfort, give you love, show you the way, then you will understand why these people believe Dorothea's life is worth saving. That is mitigating. That is a human quality that deserves to be preserved. It is a flame of humanity that is buried inside, or that is burned inside Dorothea since she was young. That is the reason to give Dorothea Puente life without the possibility of parole rather than the death sentence. I still agree with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
she was a vampire, basically. She was completely victimizing these people.
But like he said, these people had nothing in life but their pensions and their lives.
Yeah.
And she took that. And I'm sorry, I have sympathy for her as a child, but I have no sympathy for adults who do not take responsibility for themselves as adults.
There is no reason. You have how many people in the world who have been abused as children grew up to live normal lives? These people are
to therapy.
These people are the one. People like her are the ones who are. They're in the vast minority, where they're few and far between. But yet, with the media, with stuff like that, with people like us, because we read about serial killers all the time, they get shown more and stuff like that. This is the reason why we actually try to take, if there is a victims list, we try to read the victims list.
First.
Yeah,
definitely. So the conviction, after several days of deliberation, the jury was deadlocked, 7-5.
And it came down to the little old lady, the way she looked, there's no way she could be this way,
Right, Scott?
Yeah. Well, she's dead now.
Scott, I would recommend removing that because Facebook likes to get you in trouble for saying shit like that. But I agree with you. Yeah. What about sympathy for the victims? Not sympathy for her.
Again, it's the little old lady. They see that. They see a person up there. She's frail. She's whatever. She would never do anything like this. We might be able to get her on 3 of them, but those are the ones who are abusing her, not the rest of them. And it's so messed up.
After several days of deliberation, the jury was deadlocked, 7-5 for life. 7-5, by the way.
It's a haiku, right?
No, that's 5-7-5.
I don't know. We were talking about the other night.
The judge, Michael J. Berga, declared a mistrial when the jury said further deliberations would not change their minds. Under the law, Puente received life without possibility of parole. She was incarcerated at Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, which is in Madera County in California, for the rest of her life. She maintained her innocence and insisted that all of her tenants had died of natural causes.
I just happened to bury them with.
Then why bury them?
I had
property,
convicts
bitch?
bury them because I didn't want to bother the EMTs. I didn't want to bother the county with this. It was just too complicated.
She died March 27th, 2011 in Chowchilla at the age of 82 from natural causes.
She had no issues in prison. They left her alone and she got to live her life.
Yeah.
Got to have an easy going life in prison.
So, media. Dorothea appeared in the criminal documentary crime series on Discovery Channel, Biography Channel, and History Television. In 1998, she began corresponding with Shane Bugbee, who conducted an extensive interview with her. Over the course of several years, she began sending him various recipes, and in 2004, the cookbooks that we're going to be buying, Cooking with a Serial Killer, was released. It included a lengthy interview and 50 recipes, and various pieces of prison art that were sent to him.
I could
also, as we know, she was the first episode in the World's Worst Roommate.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Terrible Roommates or something like that. It's on Netflix. I can't remember the full name of it. I could be completely wrong with this. But
worst roommate ever.
Yeah, when you purchase stuff like this, the law states that these people who go to prison for stuff like this, they can't make money off whatever
usually the victims.
It always. So if you go and buy this stuff, like I said, I could be wrong. When you go and buy stuff like this, books, it goes to the victims' families and stuff like that.
Shane Bugbee
that's the reason why they have the civil lawsuits afterwards, is so that they can't. One, the law doesn't let them do it, but two, they can't make anything when they get out of prison.
Exactly. He means the rabid dog outside his window with the squirrels.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Well, that's it.
Stephen P. Kitty Cat came in at the end.
Papa Meow Meows.
See, I'm not sure which one of the three that I just put on here is yours.
We'll figure it out later. I don't want
I'm
to
afraid to click on one.
I don't think we should click on things until we get it figured
Can
out.
I click on one? Can I just click
No.
on one? Should I click on one? It's only a minute.
I wouldn't do it. It could be your OnlyFans.
I
know you don't have an OnlyFans.
Sometimes I wish I had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, we could pay rent in a minute.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, wasn't Gacy the reason they had to pass that law?
Yeah. No, there was someone, the Birdman of Alcatraz or something like that. They passed it around that time, which was in the 60s.
They had a few reasons to pass the law.
Yeah. Because he was making money. No, it was actually prior to that, because the Birdman of Alcatraz he was actually making money. No, the Birdman of Alcatraz was actually making money. He was actually giving out books and stuff like that on how to take care of birds, which are completely wrong. But in like the 50s and stuff like that, they finally passed the law stating that you couldn't make money off anything like that, and then it affected his business. He was actually I think at the time he was making the equivalent to millions a year, but in prison it was going right to his family and stuff like that.
Don't forget to shiv your cellmate for his corn. Keep that in your pocket and give that to the birds.
No, it was pretty messed up what he was doing. The Birdman of Alcatraz was not a nice guy, nor did he take care of the birds. It was actually he had a pretty messed up cell.
All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are back, and it is time for spooky season.
Spoopel.
Spoopel. No,
don't worry.
There was that.
The internet crapped out for a second.
So just to let you know, on Wednesday, Akia will be talking to. Well, I get to say Akia myself. I will be talking to Azazel Winchester, and that is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful night, and
See
we
you
will
guys later.
see you later.
Bye.
I don't know, set the world in my I have a